All right. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha Rakah Kodash, double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule Great Millstone Well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom Wa Ba Babal. All right, so today is Thursday, November 28th, 2024. All right, and today is their wicked pagan holiday, Thanksgiving, which is celebrating the slaughter of the North American Indians, which are of the northern kingdom of the nation of Israel, the apple of the eye of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. So I'm going to just keep it quick, and clear, clean cut. The so-called white man murdered and raped and robbed the Native American Indian, the so-called Mexican, all right? And he's done this to all the 12 tribes of Israel, especially the so-called African American, which is the biblical Judite, all right? And they're all going to get payback. It says in Genesis 49, it says Israel's prophecy concerning his sons. All right. It says, I'll jump to 2, gather yourselves together and hear ye sons of Jacob, which he had 12 sons. So he has 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob's name was changed to Israel, making his sons Israelites. And hearken unto Israel your father. But she speaks of Reuben, all right, which is the Seminole Indian, Simeon and Levi, all right, which Simeon is the so-called Dominican, Levi is the so-called Haitian. It says Simeon and Levi, and then you got Judah, which is the so-called African American, Zebulon and Issachar. Zebulon, the Guatemalans to the so-called Panamanians, Issachar, the so-called Mexicans. And these are all according to prophecy. All right? And there's Gad, Asher, Naphtali, Gad, North American Indian, Asher, the so-called Colombians to the Uruguayans. Oh yeah, Naphtali, the so-called Argentinians to the so-called Chileans. All right. So Gad, being that it's so-called Thanksgiving today, it says in Genesis 49 verse 19, remember, these are the last days when this is going to happen. It says Gad, which Gad, or God is really the way it's pronounced, means troop. All right. It says a troop shall overcome him. What troops overcame the North American Indians? All right. It was the so-called Caucasians troops. It says, but he shall overcome at the last. So that shows you that we're still under the so-called white man, because Thanksgiving is being celebrated still. The destruction of the North American Indian, the tribe of Gad. But it tells you in prophecy, but he shall overcome at the last. It says in the NLT, Gad will be attacked by, I don't know what this word is, let's see. Marauding, going about in search of things to steal or people to attack, which is the so-called white man. He's a violent devil. It says bands, but he will attack them when they retreat, which it tells you in Isaiah 19, I believe it is. No, it's 30s. Isaiah, let's see, no, it's 33. Yep, Isaiah 33 and 1. It says, woe to thee that spoileth, which you spoiled the Israelites, you spoiled the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called white man, because even right after this, you have Black Friday. Why was there a Black Friday? Because you sold slaves on Black Friday. All right? It says, woe to thee that spoileth, and thou was not spoiled. So you haven't paid for your crimes. It says, and dealeth treacherously, and they doubt not treacherously with thee. Which there's this movie.
Here is some information about hostels. In 1892, legendary Army Capt.
All right? This movie, I recommend you watch it. All right? And it shows you the way the so-called white man sees you. They want you wiped off the face of the earth, but see, they weren't allowed to do it because the Lord doesn't change. So there was always a remnant, all right? And the Lord, all right, he kept his word and always kept the Israelites, just like the sun remains, so does his sons. But once again, not all Israel are of Israel, because it shows you in this movie, you have Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom in here, and they're both sellouts. All right, they're both sellouts. You got this Jake here. What's his name? Jonathan Majors. He plays the Corporal Henry Woodson, and in there he gets shot, right? And he cries to what's his name? Christian Bale. He says, "I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't finish our job." He's Sambo. All right. And then this guy, Wes Studi, he plays Chief Yellowhawk, right? Which he was in the movie, he's a warrior that was just slaughtering these Edomites. But then at the end, he's actually slaughtering his own to try to protect the so-called white men. You see? So this shows you how they got Jake and they stole everything from him to the point where they didn't even know how to be their own people, but to go to their enemy for the want of all things. Right? You want freedom. You want the ability to drink water. You want to eat. You want to wear clothes. You want an education. You want this. You want that. You got to go to your enemy, the so-called white man, for all things. Just like I said in that movie, it showed you a buffalo soldier. The buffalo soldier was Judah, all right, the American Negro, which you had 3 tribes really, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. But it showed you right here a buffalo soldier, which the white man would use. Oh, it's messing up now. Come on, Esau. Right there, you see it. See it? That's a buffalo soldier. That's that Majors actor. All right, and then if you recognize that guy, he's from the Civil War movie. What kind of American are you? Christian Bale, which he openly worships Satan. Right? They show you that this is an evil-ass place. All right? They put the woman over the man. They show that in this movie too. All right? Hostiles. See, in that word hostile, all right, it says as an adjective, hostile or belonging to an enemy, of an enemy. See? And in that movie, they show you a part where that so-called white man, he's like that Christian Bale says, as long as he lives, he wants to kill every Indian he could. All right? Because they are the devil. They are the adversary. Satan. All right? They are the enemy to the Israelite. And that's why it says in Obadiah, all right, that the Lord's going to get them. And once again, Isaiah 33:1, woe to thee that spoileth, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. And that's another point I wanted to make with that movie Hostile, was the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom were showing friendliness to Esau. But Esau, being the devil he was, right? He slaughtered and destroyed the Israelites on both sides, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. Even though we're one nation, right? He caused division where even blood touches blood. You see? So this man is the devil, the so-called white man, the red devil. He is wicked. He is the wicked, and that's why the world is in such a wicked state, because he is ruling. It says, thou shalt be spoiled. So like, when thou shalt cease to spoil, now they're all, where's the love? Where's the peace? Why can't we all just get along? It says, thou shalt be spoiled. The Lord is going to cause Jake to rouse up and fucking put their hand to Esau's neck. And who's going to rouse them up? The Lord's going to use the so-called white man. There's going to be a race war. All right? And it tells you that in Genesis 49. It says in Judah, it says in verse 9, Judah is a lion's whelp, meaning they're very strong. They're terrible, like a lion, like a baby lion. And what's a whelp? When you look what they're looking for, they're looking for action. They're looking for a fight. It says, from the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? So it's going to take a lot to get Jake to fight Esau, the so-called white man, because they've been destroyed. So like, I thought I had that picture up of that movie, Hostiles. All right? So who's going to rouse him up? That so-called white man. See, Esau has tried to hide himself, trying to act like he's a white Christian or some kind of scientist that is a philanthropist. But really, it's being revealed they're the red devil the Bible speaks of. And they're going to rouse up Judah. They're going to rouse up Issachar. They're going to rouse up Gad. They're going to rouse up Benjamin. They're going to rouse up Levi. They're going to rouse up all the nations of Israel, all the kingdoms of Israel, all the tribes of Israel with a race war. All right? It says, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet. So the truth comes through Judah. All right? Yahushua, the Messiah, he came through Judah. The Judah was first to wake up. Until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. So Judah is who the truth came through, because Yahushua came out of Judah. All right? Now, I want to get where he's going to be against his enemy. It says in verse 8, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Once again, Yahushua came out of Judah. Thy hand, which means that Yahushua, the Messiah, is a so-called black man. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies, which is the so-called white man. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Which there's going to be a race war, because the so-called white man is going to rouse up Judah. And really, it's the Lord doing it. All right? It tells you right here. It says in Obadiah, verse 9, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau, so every one of the nation of Edom, the so-called white men, which their forefather was Esau, may be cut off by slaughter for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, for what they've done to the Israelites, starting with Judah. Shame shall cover thee, and that's why they don't like us talking about these things. And thou shalt be cut off forever, which you're not going to get no mercy. All right, no mercy. There's going to come a day where the so-called white man is extinct, and we're going to celebrate it, just like they celebrate their Thanksgiving. And they claim that the Native American Indian is extinct. All right? They actually say that. They lie about us and say that you had the Northern Kingdom that lived for 1,000 years in one place and then all of a sudden just got up and walked away, when in fact the so-called white man walked upon the homes of Israel and slaughtered them, raped and robbed them, and then lied about them. And that's what Cain did. See, when the Lord said, where is your brother? They say, am I my brother's keeper? See, they rob us, and then they say, why are you poor? They poison us and say, why are you sick? See, so the devil, the so-called white man, he's got hell to pay. And hell, I'm saying what the Bible say, 1,000 years of slavery, and he has to pay back what he done. All these nations do. It says in Obadiah, verse 15, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. So what you're doing to us, we're going to do it to you. You have us in slavery. You mock us. You talk shit about us in front of our face. We can't say nothing about it, right? Because you're in power, right? But when we're in power, we're gonna do worse to you, because it's payback, bitches. All right, you're gonna be extinct eventually, and we're gonna be celebrating it. But even before that, your kingdom, America, it's gonna fall like lightning with nuclear destruction, according to prophecy. All right, and we're gonna celebrate that destruction for eternity. You see? And why? Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has prophesied that this is how it's going to play out. So we rejoice in the fulfillment of Yahweh's will in Yahushai by the Holy Spirit. It says in verse 17, but upon Mount Zion, which you're witnessing, shall be deliverance, the Israelites that are in this truth, and there shall be holiness. And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Right? We're going to own these heathen. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire. And the house of Joseph a flame. And the house of Esau for stubble. So we're rousing them up through bringing out the truth, because they're liars. The wicked flee when no man pursueth. Because they are evil. They are wicked. They are guilty. Their sins reach unto heaven. That's why they're fugitives. It says, and the house of Esau for stubble, because they're going to try to go against us and find themselves fighting against the Almighty Yahweh Ba'ashem and his son Yahushai. It says, and they shall kindle in them, which we are. Through these videos, we're kindling in them, doing this camp, doing these sit-downs in our faith. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, which eventually there's going to be a war. And we're going to win. We got the victory because Yahushua is going to fight for us. He's going to put it in the hearts of their allies and their enemies, the brick nations, to shoot nuclear missiles upon America, Babylon the Great. All right? It says, and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. And he's going to deliver us from the fire, just like he delivered the Israelites in the time of Babylon from the furnace under Nebuchadnezzar. He's with us. All right? And he's going to deliver us from that nuclear destruction that he has planned for the wicked and them that do wickedly, those 2/3 reprobates. It tells you in Zechariah 14 and 12, it says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem," which another way of knowing that, these Edomites are still alive and on the earth ruling is you have the Arch of Titus. You have the Arch of George Washington, which is a monument. You have the art out there in South Dakota, Mount Rushmore, which is a monument of the Red Devil and him with his sword. So this shows you that the wicked are ruling and they're in power. But when the elect are in power, the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, we're going to show you the monument of the Lord's judgment, which is going to be America. It's going to be a desert because of the nuclear destruction that takes place, all right, at the command of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem," talking about the Israelite. "Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth." That's a nuclear destruction. America is going to suffer for the violence against the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, America is going to suffer the judgment, the wrath of Almighty Yahweh Ba'Hasham, Yahushai. And Yahushai is the one coming to tread it. Isaiah 63 and 1. All right, because he's coming in that glory. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? Basra represents Edom's capital, which today is America. This that is glorious in his apparel, which is Yahushai, traveling in the greatness of his strength, which he's coming on so-called UFO, a chariot, the throne. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. So that's talking about all them that he kills when he comes back. I have trodden the winepress alone, and the grapes are representing the people. And of the people there was none with me, because Yahweh gave this authority to Yahushai. For I will tread them in mine anger, which the anger is from Yahweh, through Yahushai. That's why Yahushai is here to judge the world. And trample them in my fury, which he's going to do it by fire. And their blood shall be kindled upon my garments, which we've been telling you who's going to do it. And I will stain all my remnant, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And that's why we're standing and prophesying. All right, the Lord bought us back. He redeemed us, and now he's going to save us and make it permanent that we be with him. See, he's not going to give us over to another slavery. Tells you that in Lamentations 4 and verse 21, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, the so-called white nation, that dwelleth in the land of Uz, dealing with the Americans. The cup also shall pass through unto thee, which your whole nation is going to suffer slavery after the destruction of your kingdom, America. It says, thou shalt be drunken, which you're drunk on pride, and shalt make thyself naked, which you're revealing yourself as the devil. It says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, because the real reason why you're being revealed is because Zion is remembering themselves. And as we call upon the true names, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, as it is written, It shows that you're a lie. You so-called Caucasians, your whole fucking existence is a fucking goddamn lie. All right? So it says, O daughter of Zion, that's why we're called Zion, a monument of the truth. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. See, and how's he discovering them? By us sighing and crying and prophesying, as it has been fulfilled, every day. And that's why it says the Lord's angry with the wicked every day. There is no peace for the wicked, saith my power. And the wicked, hey, they're only allowed to rejoice for a short time. The Lord's turning their rejoicing into mourning, and he's turning our mourning into rejoicing. Because we seeing our salvation draw near and near as we're watching Esau's fall, get closer and closer. But with that, give all praise and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, but Shem Ha Rekah Kodash, double honors unto our apostle elders which rule great millstone wow. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure until the end. Shalom wa abba.